Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Modern Engineers. Today we are going to be doing a lot of dry docking. In fact, I'm on board the tug right now with the Anubis ready to dry dock, but the weather is not very conducive, so I'm probably going to wait until the weather gets better because these waves are a little bit bad. So, get back to you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The weather is clear now, and you'll notice that the dry dock is actually higher in the air. That's because I forgot to show everyone how to trim it. I forgot to hit record on that. So I reset the dock, and now that the weather is clear, I can show you how to use this dry dock. The link for this is below. This is one of my actual completed builds. So I am going to actually get the dry dock in the ready position to receive the Anubis ship. So what we're going to do is go ahead and type up, and it'll show you all of the up-facing thrusters, and we're just going to go ahead and swap most of them into the off position. Oh, hang on. Works a little bit better when they're in the water, because sometimes the thrusters bug out and think that they're above water, and then it turns them off. So turn them off, and then you're going to want to grab like a couple of them, and you're just going to kind of want to let the dry dock fall, and then you're aiming for the black line. That's the water line of the dry dock. Now, it's okay if you go a little bit under, but the important part is making sure that the dock is deep enough that the ship can rest on top of the keel blocks without actually, damaging the keel. So it's got to be able to float over it, and the cool part about this dock is it's self-propelled, so at least a little bit. It's not very fast, but you can get a little bit more accurate with the positioning as long as you get the ship close enough. So it's important just to get the trim right so that the dock is stable and not going to sink on you. So you see it's starting to sink a little bit, so I'm just going to turn on one or two of those thrusters. Still doesn't seem like enough. At least it stopped. I think I'm neutrally buoyant. Yeah, I'm just going to line her up a little bit more. Alright, we're going to turn on like one more, maybe even two more. Starting to go back up. Okay. Alright. Yeah, honestly, this is pretty close. It's good enough. Really, you're not trying to make it perfect. You're just trying to make sure that it works. Alright, and I'll show you the 8 times speed of what that looks like, and then I'll hop back over to the other ship and get her ready. Okay, so now we just kind of push her in now that the dock is level. You got to do it nice and slow though, because you don't want to hit the keel blocks. Actually, thinking about that, might be a good idea to set up a spectator cam just in case. Let's just go ahead and move this over here. Hello, other camera. And then we'll just monitor just in case I feel some tugging. Alright, now you just kind of want to move in nice and slow and not encounter anything. You don't want to damage anything going into the dock, and the dock does adjust every now and then due to the waves. That's why it's good to do this during a clear. Alright, gotta come a little bit forward. Drydocked enough of these terror classes to kind of eyeball where she's supposed to be. The goal is to get her close enough that the dock can take over. Doesn't need to be perfect. The dock has self-adjusting thrusters to be able to handle that. Alright, move in slowly. So I don't want to cover her sonar dome, because that's where most of the work is going to be. We're going to go ahead and turn on her thrusters. And the goal is going to be to get the mag plates to all light up yellow, and that'll help make sure that the ship is level. Dock alone shouldn't have enough thrust to lift her out without overriding, so we'll see. Just trying to not cover the dome. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, I'm going to try and lock it. Oh, that's not working. Alright, well, there, locked. Now we go and release the tug, so go do that. Okay, so I moved the tug out of the way, and it seems that the thrusters had enough oomph to lift the ship out of the water. Good thing I have secondary cameras, because by the time I moved the tug, it was basically out of the water, which is a little bit disappointing. Usually it doesn't lift out of the water on its own, but this ship is so light that there's not enough material on it to actually cause an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and do the hard part now, which is maneuver the Drydock and into the docking position so that we can lock it, because this thing cannot sustain being up on its own by itself for very long. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is going to be a long, slow process. Don't want to damage it. Alright, so that looks like we're pretty much locked up, ready to go. I have the shore power connected, so we're good to go. We'll have to shore power the ship here soon, but I need to build that. Next, we're just going to do this walk around here. It's always awesome to see these things out of the water. And this is such a brand new ship, there's barely any rust. Just do a quick walk around, make sure all the plates locked and that she's sitting level. Gonna definitely have to move Circle because she's a little bit tight in the area that she's sitting right now. In fact, I think this ship has been in Drydock twice now and it hasn't even started that engine. But yeah, make sure that when you do have this Drydock that you have the battery set to recharge before use, because the last thing, oh, we're gonna have to fix that. That's not right. Alright. The last thing that you want is to have the Drydock to lose power while you're in use. That's a no-no. But yeah, this is a brand new ship. She was not necessarily finished, but I'm gonna go ahead and turn off her generator. Oh yeah, set her batteries to discharge. There we go. She's no longer taking in seawater, so there's no point in having her generator running. And that should pretty much get her wrapped up. I'll eventually hook up her shore power and keep her batteries charged before we undock her. But yeah, the goal of her dry docking is going to be to fix her sonar, which goes in here. And you see it's not installed, so we'll have to install that. Yeah. Alright, next. This process is going to take a while. We're going to launch Chimera. So the first thing that you're going to want to do when you're ready to launch a brand new build is to, well, delete all the old blocks except for one. You want to keep her connected until the last second, because once she's disconnected, you have to deal with her. And the last thing you want is her to, damage you. So we're going to go ahead and knock out all these blocks, except for one. And then once we get the chance, we're going to knock it out once the ship's in the water so that we have the most optimal time for her to float. Alright, that's the last block, so now I'm going to flood the dock. This is kind of important because you want as much buoyancy as you can. Typically before we start, I'm going to go ahead and drop the materials into one of these containers. There we go. Okay, now that I've done my last check, we're going to go ahead and start lowering the dock. This will take a couple hours, if not more. So I'm going to just hit reverse. like she's in the water enough. Alright, now that she's in the water, I'm going to go ahead and head to the forward generator room and open up its seawater intake and start the generator so that the ship starts generating electricity for the first time. It's no longer absorbing electricity, it's taking out. Now these generators generate about 40 megawatts of power, so it's more than enough to handle the ship in port. No, not 40, 20. Alright, so we're going to open the sea chest. That's the collector on. And then we're going to go ahead. I need to map these. So, generator. Alright, there we go. Started. Now we're definitely generating electricity. And I need to map that to that group, but we'll do that later. And that's the exhaust system running. It's exciting. This is the first time the ship's actually run on its own power. It's a year and a half work coming up to this. It's kind of underwhelming. I was hoping the exhaust would be a little bit more impressive. I can change that. Go ahead. Let's do just smoke. Yeah. Alright, cool. Now we get the tugs and push her out. Alright, after much buggering about, she's finally floating, and her waterline is actually really close to what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, the Drydock seemed a little higher than it was supposed to handle the ship this size, so I might have to go and do some off-camera work to fix the Drydock. It's probably a clearance issue. This world doesn't have the same clearance as the old world. So we're going to go ahead and reposition the tug to the bow and start getting ready to push her toward her berth. Now, her berth is unfinished, so this is just to kind of be temporary parking until the Alamo is in dry dock, which should hopefully be soon. It's just after her the dry dock gets fitted out to be able to handle her. She's actually bigger than this carrier. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and start hooking up and pushing the ship toward her berth. And nice and gently, obviously. So. Oh, this is so exciting. This is a year and a half's work, and she's floating. And she's floating awesome. I thought there would be some balance issues, but no, she's just taking it like a champ. And yeah, I'm going a little slow, but that's by design. Oh, I can't wait for this thing to be done. She's gonna be intimidating as hell. I love her design. I really, really can't wait for her to be done. Oh, the smoke comes through the thing. I'll fix that later. Let's see. Yeah, let's fix that now, actually. Do the smoke small. Because I don't like that it comes to the deck. Okay, that's better. For now. Alright, we're gonna moor up port side on this pier over here, and then hopefully that all goes pretty well. I don't see any other issues. We're generating our own electricity. This will be over once we hook up shore power and shut down the engines. But so far it's going pretty well. I'm gonna time-lapse most of this so that y'all don't have to sit here and wait for this. Alright, should be far enough now. Yeah, that's more than enough. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and shut down our engines, bring her to a stop, disconnect, and then moor to the other side so that we can start pushing her forward. You have no idea how excited I am the fact that she sits almost on her waterline. That's so exciting. And she's stable. The Kiev class had a nightmare stability issue, and she is just rock solid. Alright, so I can't dock up there because of the Seawiz platform, so we're just going to have to move a bit further aft. I wonder if I can move right here by this generator intake. And let's go further back. Still kind of learning the best spots to tug this ship, because getting in and out of port is going to be a nightmare without tugs. There we go, nice and gentle. Alright, now we're going to start pushing forward. Nice and easy. Get her right alongside her pier. We're going to do it nice and slow. That's the downside to these videos, or it takes so long because it's a lot of long, slow processes that are done. There's not a lot of action. It's a lot of pushing and moving and work. A lot of the work guys do is off camera just because it's just mundane building stuff. It's like welding stuff up, not building it. But I'm going to kind of sit here and watch as she pulls in. I don't want to go too fast or I'll break her. And I just built her. So now that we're close enough that I'm basically dragging bottom here, not that close, thankfully. We're gonna now push the tug in the pushing position and push her toward the dock. And little fun fact I discovered while tugging the Alamo, that if you didn't know, when you're locked to the grid, you're pushing on the whole grid. And if you're not locked to the grid, you're pushing on the point, which is nice to know for tugging, because that means you can do turns and stuff like that. So we're going to lock and we're going to push the whole grid toward the pier. Nice and slow. Don't want to break our new carrier. Okay, tug is put away. All the toys are basically put away. Actually, looking at her now, she sits really nice on this pier. I might actually not modify this pier to be a double-decker like the other one. I might actually leave it. Yeah, she sits really nice and close to this pier, and I think if I add another level, it's just going to make it harder to dock. So, I think we're just going to leave this pier as is. We're not going to finish it out. I think what I am going to do is add the shore power connections. Oh, great, rain. Yeah, I'm going to add the shore power connections here. But otherwise, she sits really level. I really like how easily accessible this ship is to the pier rather than the other vessels. I can easily put a brow up nice and easy. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and head inside. Yeah, right here. We're going to put a brow, actually. Just nice and easy. By where her quarterdeck would be, or one of them would be. Yeah, see how easy that is? I mean, still fell through, but that's a fix. It's an easy fix. She's still got a gap, so I might have to reposition her. Otherwise, yeah. She's still unfinished, but you know, progress is progress. This hangar's gonna look so much better when she's lit up. Sorry, I just love walking this massive machine. Alright, so we're gonna head forward. Oh, that's an interesting gap. Yeah, we're gonna head forward and go ahead and hook up her shore power connection. Should be fairly easy. There they are. Little sockets, and we're gonna run the. Oh, I see the problem. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put this on the other side. So I'll fix that. All right. That should about do that. Now we're going to put some shore power installation here. We're going to try and aim for the center of the pier, like this. And then apparently only the advanced sockets transfer electricity over the grid. So we're going to do that. This is the power lines and conveyors mod. So I highly recommend it because it is so much easier to handle. I don't have any more steel plates. You know what? One is more than enough. I just need the large steel tubes. Oh, I don't seem to have any in here. I'm running out. Need to make some more. Yep. I'm gonna steal some from Alamo. She won't mind, because this container's gotta get taken off the boat anyway. It weighs 123 tons. So let's just weld this up. And then we'll come back with steel plates later. But in the meantime, let's get her hooked up to power from the base. And connected. And no clipping. Love it. Nice. Sheltered and out of the rain. Easy. Carriers are so much more fun to deal with. At least logistically speaking. Alright, now we're going to shut down the generator. And we're good. And turn off the smoke, the exhaust cap. There we go. Now we're back on shore power and no longer running off the engine. Nice short little burst. I think that's going to do it this episode. This took exuberant amount of time. I'm not even sure how I'm going to fit it into a 30-minute time frame, aside from a lot of time warp and edits. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. We won't be doing another dry dock the next episode. We'll be doing some preparations for the Battleship to go into dry dock, but hopefully soon we'll be able to go take care of that. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Link down below for the Discord and some of the dry docks in the workshop. Catch you all on the next one.